저는 리안입니다. 반갑습니다. And we're welcomed today by your boy Jello. Say what's good.
Yo, Jello XV Konbanwa.
And we're welcomed by your boy Leo. Say what's good.
Guten Tag, ich heiße Leo.
And we're welcomed by Sal. Say what's good.
Hola, me llamo Sal.
And for lastly, we are welcomed by Shaggy. Say what's good.
Ciao, mi chiamo Shaggy.
Hey! Now that you met everybody, welcome to the first official video of Unfiltered. And the topic of today is actually the level of entry in the music industry, chosen by Leo.
I must say, I'm very excited to be back here again.
I'm very happy to have you guys. And I guess, without further ado, we're just actually going to get started with the topic. With the first question, what made you all interested in music?
Well, I will go first. My grandfather actually was in a band. He played bass and he played guitar and he knew a lot of instruments. And then my dad, he later learned bass from him, and I learned about bass through my dad and said, I'm going to play that instrument. And so I learned how to play bass.
What? So music runs in your family?
Yeah.
So, oh, that's so cool. You guys are all musically talented.
Except my mom, but don't tell her that. Best she can do is happy birthday on the piano. God bless her.
Shaggy, what got you into music?
Oh.
Such a heavy question.
Well, like, music has always been, like, a big part of my life, I guess. My uncles, both of them knew how to play guitar. I've always had music playing throughout the house as a kid. I don't know. I guess I played Guitar Hero 2 once and fell in love with guitar, man.
We've all been there in the Guitar Hero stage. I was a really good, what is that thing? You know, the guitar with the buttons?
Bruh.
Blue, yellow,
The
green.
the guitar hero. Either that one or Rock Band.
Hey, you know what?
Fun ones.
My family had rock band, and my mom, she can't play real instruments, but she goes hard on those drums. She'll go crazy. I'm like, damn, Mom, why is your talent only in rock band? But you know what? She, well, I guess, yeah, she later learned how to play bells, like hand bells, like think Christmas carolers. So I guess she got with the program. She had to find,
She got with the program.
she had to find her instrument.
What about you, Sal?
Mine was also family related. My great-grandfather actually was musically gifted, and at a young age, because I lived with my great-grandparents majority of the time, I was also engulfed in music, but he's the one who got me into guitar, which is what I played for majority of my life, and then obviously I branched off from there, but he also made me a song as a kid, so yeah, I performed that, and then I think that was really the last thing I ever played before I stopped taking lessons. And I mean, I've tried to write my own songs and everything too, so
You wrote your own song?
yeah.
Hey, if you need a bass
What?
player, hit me up.
Alright.
I mean, like, truthfully, this is a band in the making.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, look, you got bass. You said guitar.
Uke and vocals.
Uke and vocals. You got
can
vocals
also-
as well.
Vocals.
You can do
also,
everything.
yeah, I can rip it on the
I know you can
drums
do
as
everything.
well.
Okay, now let's figure out what you guys can't do.
Can I get an application for bass?
Oh, it's okay. I write
We
everything
can
on
always
paper.
trade bass too.
Yeah, I mean, we all can, like, work our way around instruments. Like, no one has to have one set thing. Because there are sometimes I'm like, yeah, I want to play that bass. And other times I'm like, if I look at that for one more second, I'm going to be so frustrated. I got to play drums.
For clarification, I play both basses. I play like the guitar bass, but I also play like the upright orchestra bass, so I just wanted to make that clear.
Now, with that, were you in jazz band? Because sometimes
Oh.
jazz bands will have the upright bass.
I wasn't, but I did play an electric bass, which is what they mainly used in jazz band. Those things are awesome.
That's
Love them.
that's what I did.
Mhm.
I played jazz band, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna help with my bass playing. It was the worst thing ever. I wrote like a persuasion essay to my parents, like, can I please not do this?
What?
And then
essay.
from Chicago, I moved to Ohio, and I was like, I'm gonna try jazz band one more time. I did the same thing.
Aw.
Yeah, it's always been bad. I played guitar in the jazz band, actually,
Mhm.
and at the time, my first guitar was a death metal, like, V-shaped guitar.
Oh yeah.
I was rocking up in there with that.
Oh, as you should.
So, but jazz band the school bands have never worked out for me. Were you able to, like, really enjoy orchestra?
I mean, I enjoyed it. Middle school was really rough for me, but it was when I got into the high school orchestra, and that was like more competition. I had fun. Not very like competitive, but like we went to state competitions, and my first year of being in states, we got first place. So that kind of made me.
It was all you.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I've had so many opportunities. I'm not trying to boast or brag, but
No, I mean, like,
No,
this
full-
is you.
I know, but I feel horrible.
Fully
Always
boast.
saying that.
Go
Yeah,
for
like-
it.
All right.
It's cool as
So
hell.
And the way you smile about it, like, it's genuine. This makes you happy.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I'm very proud of myself. I had we have these huge concerts. It's called the the Bluegrass Blowout, and it's like Celtic music, jazz, bluegrass, all that. And my first year, I had a Dolly Parton solo.
Love
And
Dolly.
Amazing. I think it was Wildflowers.
#1 Dolly stan.
She's amazing. So, that was a different style of music for me to play, so I was really excited about it. First solo ever. I actually got a compliment from, like, the bass player of the band we were performing with, which was Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers.
And the Radio Ramblers.
And the bass player personally came up to me, and out of, I believe it was 3 other basses with me, like, pulled me aside and was like, I really feel like you could go somewhere with your talent. And he didn't do that with anybody else in that whole orchestra. And that was just like an eye-opening moment for me. And then I had the opportunity to go to Nashville, Tennessee, and record in a studio and have my own original works put into the recording with credit to me. And again, I didn't take it. It didn't happen anyways, but that would have been such an opportunity. But I've performed at Disney World, and I mean, it's been a roller coaster for me, but in a very good way. So I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna say that I enjoyed school orchestra.
Do you think about it sometimes?
What do you mean?
In Texas, about the whole...
Oh, like the whole like recording.
Yeah, like, do you ever think about doing that again?
I mean, I feel like it would be really nice to do. I don't think the opportunity will ever come to me again for that. It might, I don't know. But, I know personally, like, not to, like, downgrade myself or, like, degrade myself in my skill, but, like, playing the bass, I would always sit there and be like, I'm putting so much time and effort into this, and I don't feel like I've met my standards of a good bass player. But, like, deep down, I know that, like, I am very happy with, like, my current skill with the bass and
Yeah.
everything. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm like the worst bass player, because I would never say that about myself or anyone else. But
It's one of those things where you have to, like, just take the time to do it.
Yeah.
And if you, like, is this...
The worst bass player is the person that doesn't play the bass.
Yeah, absolutely every musician will go through a period of being like, they don't think they're like the worst in the world, but they're dissatisfied with where their skill is yet because they have such a high standard. And it's totally fine to have a dream or a goal of, I want to be able to hit that point, but you gotta, like, you have to see the improvements every day. You can't just be like, well, I'm not here yet, so obviously I'm not good.
yeah.
Like, you gotta see, and that's, like, with warm-ups and anything like that, it shows you that small improvement that is gonna help you just be able to reach that goal.
Yeah.
And just a side note, Like, just replace bass with anything. You gotta acknowledge the improvement wherever you're in whatever you're doing. Because if you don't do that, you're never gonna think you're getting better at anything. Like, truthfully.
I'm glad you had such a good experience in orchestra, because I was never able to really enjoy my time in a school band. But in Beaver Creek, we went to, when I was in jazz band, we went to perform at the school, and he's touted as the best bass player in the world. His name's Victor Wooten, and he is a god on the instrument. Like, that is the ultimate goal, to get to his level. He can play it like behind his back. Yeah.
I think I've seen a YouTube video of this guy.
Yeah, he is the best bass player, and when the jazz band was up there, he went and gave each instrument like advice on how to play better. And mine was to really pull at the strings, because one reason I didn't enjoy band was because I was not confident in my playing at all. And so I would play quietly, and him just telling me, you just got to pull those strings louder, like, gave me more confidence to be like, someone was listening and someone knew that I should be heard. So that will forever stay with me. The best bass player in the world said something to me. I was like, I was so excited when that happened.
Wow, that gave me chills.
Yeah, it did. That's awesome.
Like, that is literally the message I'm trying to send to everybody. You are an individual capable of things nobody else is capable of. Each and every one of you, every single person on this earth is capable of doing things nobody else can. And if you know you're good at something, just do it. That's all it is just do it.
And rep that Nike merch while you're just doing it, too.
Hashtag not sponsor. Unless you want to.
I like how I win by forfeit by the end of that. Just do it.
Do you want to talk about what got you into music? Just listening to music?
Me?
Yeah.
Just everyone. I mean, our dad.
Oh, with the guitar.
Me and Space Cubs are related. Or, well, Leanne.
Hi.
Yeah, are related, and our dad was on the guitar. He had a electric guitar for a while, and then he traded it for a normal guitar, and our sister Sarah, she did flute everywhere. Marching band everywhere, all night. Can't forget all night.
She tried, she did her best.
I mean, no, she was really good. When we went to her concerts.
Oh, like, yeah, it was
truly,
a different story.
we clapped, I was clapping for her, not the whole band, for her. I'm sorry, like, respect to everybody else in their instruments, but my family matters more. If you can't tell, I'm very family oriented.
What about you?
My dad. I mean, if I think, like, the most, like, key moment of when I actually, like, liked an instrument, it'd probably be just playing his guitar, like, when I was in my sister's room just chilling.
For me, it's Sarah's flute.
It was her flute that you interested?
Bless you.
Yeah, I would just chill with her flute. I still have her flute. I know how to hold it. I don't know how to play it. I just know how to, like, the correct way to hold it. And I still don't know how to, like, correctly whistle, because it's not really whistling. It's more like blowing, but it is whistling. I don't know.
It's the art of the lips.
Yeah, it's and I don't even know how to read music.
Same way with trumpet.
So.
You have to, like,
You buzz into it.
and kazoo.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
Also, if
Blow raspberries into it.
if you ever, this is something my guitar instructor told me. He was a really funny guy. He also helped a lot with my desire to keep with music, but he was like, if you want to know the best chapstick, it's Burt's Bees, because every trombone player and brass player swears by it, because playing brass fucks up your lips. And so, Burt's Bees, the best chapstick.
Look at that. You learn something new every day.
Burt's Bees, not a sponsor, but if you want to sponsor us.
Yeah, I'm giving away free promo over here.
Unless y'all want to sponsor me, Comments are always open. DMs too.
Every
Email.
sponsor.
So, moving on to the next question. How do you think music has changed over the years?
The best thing I can relate it, like, the biggest change is not genres. Those will always change. Each decade will have its genre. Music evolves. It's just how it works. Like, that's always going to happen. But I think the biggest change in music would be how the industry works. Because in the 80s and 90s, you had bands that would start off in garage bands, doing open mics, and then playing around, like, your city. And you would have people later come and be like, hey, I'm going to produce you. You're going to work under my label. I will give you the supplies you need, and you can make music. But with the induction of the internet, that completely changed. You would have kids in their basements making music, quote unquote SoundCloud rappers. They can make their own music from home. They don't need a production company or anything like that, because they can go with the internet, buy mics, buy recording equipment off the internet, and then just make it in their home. And so it's allowed the level of entry into the industry a lot lower, so now everyone can go in. If you're good at one thing, let's say singing, you can use the internet and you can compile loops of the other instruments just to be background to your singing, and you can really, really excel at that.
Justin Bieber did.
I have no
Didn't
idea.
he start off on YouTube?
I hate
Oh,
that
yes.
I know this, but yeah. It was
Yes.
YouTube.
Christina Grimmie.
He's the only person I know that started on YouTube.
Do we want to start the conversation about Christina Grimmie?
I don't
Wait,
even know her.
Do
I'm
you
sorry.
Do you know a lot about her?
I said him because I know everyone knows him.
She got
At least every
killed.
American.
Yeah, she
by
was
a
making
band.
music, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll know who Onicia.
Wait, what kind of music was she making to get her shot?
It was
Nothing.
just,
It was just like a stalker. Like the crazy Bjork.
Oh, okay.
yeah, she was live on stage.
I thought maybe it was
She
like
was
X
live on
songs
stage when
type
it
stuff
happened?
and
Yeah.
X got
Like-
mad or something.
I want to say the story was a little in between, but it looked like she was just getting off stage and then a fan was just going up to her. And yeah, like, please correct me if I'm wrong, like, down below, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But yeah, she had a beautiful voice. She was loved by everybody. I mean, she literally did nothing wrong.
Yeah, that I didn't know about it when it happened, but like years later I learned about it. I don't know why I was living under a rock like that, but I did not hear anything about it when it actually happened.
How did the music industry get started? Now, the only thing I know so far, I thought the whole music thing started in the 1920s, right?
Oh, we're talking like that early? I don't know why, but I'm thinking like
I think-
Beethoven.
No, the music industry really started when American music took off, and that is American music, I guess, took off from, well, the black community. Like, that's where jazz started. That's quote-unquote American music,
The
and it
Roaring
all
20s.
came from the black community. And so when, obviously, white people took
The
that...
blues too.
Country.
Yes. When the white people took that, they're like, we can make money off this. So production companies started. Like, once it was no longer this underground thing, it wasn't just like people playing at, because that's what it was. It would just be people playing at like bars or something.
Bars on the streets,
Yeah.
literally just anywhere.
And then they realized we can make money off this, so we're going to.
And then my next question, this is the question I'm really excited to ask. Do you think anything shady is going on in the music industry?
I
All the
think
time.
Everything shady.
The-
Like-
going
like-
on
like-
No, like
what is-
privately, but all the time. Yes.
Yes, it is very...
Hobson,
Wait,
you go. I'll
So...
let you say what you have to say.
One beauty about people being able to produce their own stuff is that they are no longer being ripped off by these companies that will put them in these crazy deals, and they sign a NDA, so they can't talk about it, and they'll sign these crazy deals
wait, NBA?
that will non-disclosure agreement. You can't talk about it
NDA.
until this amount of time has passed. But
Fair.
they'll sign these crazy deals, not be able to talk about it, and not talk about how they're getting screwed over by not being paid enough, by having your work stolen, like all these things. Like, I mean, that's really just also an LA thing. I mean, old Hollywood's the same way. People screw each other all the time, and especially in such a big industry where a lot of money can be made, people get screwed over all the time. That's the beauty of people being able to free themselves from that with the induction of being able to produce their own stuff. And that, I think, that isn't definitely a win for musicians, because so many times they would be screwed just by wanting to make their own stuff.
And go back to who I was talking about, Hobson, who made a direct song about the fucking music industry and how his homie ripped him off. Like, he skipped the music industry altogether and went to his friends, I believe, and was having his friend, like, produce his music for him, and then he was getting ripped off. And then when he looked at the books, when Hobson saw the books himself, it was, like, going 80-20. And it's like, I'm doing 90% of the work.
Dang, bro.
I mean, also, one thing with ghostwriters, they get screwed a lot. Ghostwriters will make, like, usually it's backing instruments. They will completely write these songs, and then a pop artist will sing it, and it'll be their song. And so...
Looking at you, Carly Rae Jepsen.
No, I love her. Emotion is so good.
Shots.
I like Emotion.
You know what? Since we're going in there, who is that?
Oh, that's the girl who sung Call Me Maybe. I cannot tolerate that song.
Yeah, but her other stuff, that's old. That's old. She came out with this album, Emotion.
Wait, you can't do that.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I will give Emotion a shot. But as for Call Me Maybe, it's not looking good. Because I don't like that one.
Dude, I don't know if you can say it too many times. They might get us.
I don't have any more questions, I don't think. Yeah, this how deep is the music industry? I mean, like, what is the darkest things you guys, like, heard?
I mean, I can't think. Other than just artists being screwed over by any colossal company, which happens all the time, that's all I can think of. I don't know of any, like, murder. Isn't, like, that a rumor about Tupac that he was, like...
Ooh.
Suge Knight killed him. That's the rumor, at least.
I mean, yeah. Rappers fall out all the time. Like, you homie started with me, and then you left me. I mean, no, it's as simple as that.
So, do you guys actually want to be in the music industry?
I want to make music. I do not want a label company over my head.
I was gonna say, I would be a label company.
Really?
Maybe.
Screwing people over?
I'll give
No, not screwing people over. Giving them the... I am financially... Okay,
No, it's okay. It's okay. Breathe.
One thing I will say, though, is that along with musicians being able to make their own stuff, new indie label companies are able to pop up who are not screwing artists, who are just there for the music, and again,
Exactly.
with they're able to have these studios because they also are able to get all this equipment that was just not able to be achieved by the average person in, like, the 90s or 80s.
Where
Is
would they
Fueled
get
by
the
Ramen
equipment?
indie? An independent?
What was the question?
Fueled by Ramen. It's like a company or a label. What is an independent label? Well, I don't think it works like that. Never mind. Dumb question. Cut all this. Cut it hard.
What is an independent? No, I want to know the difference
like-
now. What, does anyone know? Do we know?
I
the
don't think
difference?
there's such a thing as an independent label. There's only independent bands.
No, there's...
I mean, like, so, like, if we wanted to become a label company right now, like, is it...
Is that possible?
I
Do
feel like
we put that under an LLC?
See, that's the thing.
Can we get a PPE loan for that?
What's that?
It's like a $40,000 loan.
Oh.
for a business.
I don't do loans.
Smart.
Sorry.
Pay for everything in cash.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Sorry.
Not that hard.
Get credit,
I get what you mean.
but pay for everything in cash.
With the money you have.
Mm-hmm.
This is why.
Don't
we're
be
gonna work
paying shit
together.
off, because you never know what's gonna happen down the road.
Or at least be
Okay.
paying off shit in small bills.
So we got some financial advice for all of you.
Oh yeah, of course. Jello Cubs, you already know. Angela Mosh. Sorry, I don't know what you want to be doing.
Zaggy.
I'll cut either way.
No, it's Jello Cubs, Jello XV. It's just Jello.
Jello.
Angelo is not the name.
Okay.
Have I said Angelo one time?
No, it's only been me.
It's Jello through and through.
Alright, anyways, Jello!
Yeah!
Financial advice here. Got any financial advice? You already know. Text your boy Jello.
And quick shout out to my friend Julian.
What did he do?
He told me that Sinclair has free finance classes. Free, online. Yep, I'm gonna, yep.
I feel like you could have found that out on edx.org. Also, no, that's not sponsored. Forget you guys, sorry.
Not a sponsor either, but...
I'll tell you guys anyway. Everybody needs free education. Anyways, edx.org, you can find free college classes on there. Did a little bit of self-education. They're actually really high-quality courses. Highly recommend you guys all check that out. Once again, it's edx.org. I'll drop that in the link below for you guys. Get some education, because college is not important. It's not. Unless you really, really, really know what
If you're going to be a
Or
doctor,
it's
please go
free.
to college. I don't want you to be self-taught on YouTube. Please
YouTube
go
University.
to college if you are a doctor. Thank you.
Dentist too. Please.
Anyone in the health field, just get your license, get your credentials.
But get some help.
Yeah, this isn't the 1800s anymore. I'm not just gonna let you pull out my teeth for funsies.
Is band camp any different from regular camp? It's just like bring your instrument to camp, basically?
We don't
never
talk
went
about
to
what
that.
happens at band camp.
Wait, really?
Have you never been to band camp?
Oh, I thought you did.
Nobody's been to band camp?
There was this, I've heard about the one time at band camp.
That one's
Oh.
a good thing. Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah, this is one time at band camp. Shut the fuck up.
Don't tell them. They don't need to know.
Hey, gosh.
Experience playing that you had.
I want to hear about your singing.
Story time, story time,
I
story
don't know
time.
anything about my singing.
You do. Like, you found out you could sing.
Sell
I
sword
found out you
time.
could sing. Dude, I almost cried about you singing, dude. You sing with what's inside, man. Like, it was only like a 5-minute span, but it felt like I heard a lot with what you had to say.
Symphony.
It was.
How
You
did
didn't need anything.
Powers manifest.
Damn. No music in the background, nothing?
I mean, it didn't need to. It was like very like low, like if, what that Rocket League sound that you guys don't hear. Yeah, that's what it was. It was basically like that. Her voice carried.
You mean the sound of your PS4?
That's the first time I've heard it in I don't know how long. But I mean, like,
I need to clean it out again.
I guess the question would be, why do you sing alone? What makes it,
I mean,
like, how do you feel? Like, how do you project yourself? How are you, yeah.
I took choir in elementary school, which I know, wow, great. It wasn't anything like, in that moment in time, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna, be a singer when I grow up. It wasn't anything like that. I just did it for fun. And, I mean, I enjoyed it. And then I got, it's gonna sound really cringy, I got the Smule app because a friend introduced me to it, and I was thinking, oh wow, that's actually kind of cool. I kind of want to do that and play around with it. It was super popular back then. And downloaded it, had a bunch of fun, started singing, doing solos and stuff to music, and I mean, it was just like I had fun doing it, so I continued doing it. And then, again, another really cringy story.
You think you're just so cringy, but
I
I'm
do.
just I'm in love with these stories.
Thank
I think
you.
it's so interesting being able to talk to people about how they started with music.
Yeah. I think I was in 7th grade, and a friend invited, mutual friends over for, like, a sleepover, like, birthday party. And this is the first time I ever had an experience with it. I didn't walking into it. And then
I don't trust them.
I didn't either. And I
don't know if they're real or not, but I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to deal with the
real.
consequences.
I'm sorry, it's so real.
It's definitely just do not disturb.
Yeah.
But what did Sal do, you guys? What did she did it.
She just walked into it.
I did.
Head first.
I really did, and I had a very real experience. And again, a lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but like, I'm leading into the story of why I started singing, really. But I had this, like, the board was moving, like, we're playing with the board and whatnot, and we got a hold of, I don't know if you want to call it a spirit or what you want to call it, started, talking to it. And the second that I don't even know how to, like, describe it, but, like, the board's saying stuff, like, and we're asking questions, and I just, all of a sudden, it's like, I have this familiarity with this thing that we're talking to. And I was scared that entire time. Like, I mean, like, shaking like a leaf, playing this thing for the first time. And I shouldn't say playing, I should say using. But, I felt calm and, like, at peace, like, communicating with this one. And I was like, all of a sudden, this question popped in my head, and it was the song that my great-grandpa wrote for me. And I had never told anybody in this group about it, and I'm thinking, you know what, my turn comes around, I'm gonna ask what the title of that song was. Got the board, word for word, letter for letter, spelled out me and my baby guitar, and I just broke down in tears, and it was like this eye-opening experience for me. And then I messed with Ouija boards more, and I had something tell me, like, your relationship that you're in currently is only going to last for, like, 2 more months. And the date that it said, we broke up, and, me going through that situation, I'm thinking, I have more questions to ask if things are actually possibly being able to fall in line and actually happen. So I asked out of curiosity, because I wanted to be in a band, like an actual performing band as a guitar player. And so I asked to the board, like, am I gonna fulfill that dream? And it said no. And I'm thinking, okay, that's weird. So I asked, would it be music related, like my occupation in the future? And it said yes. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, if it's music, then what is it? And it said I was going to be a singer. So immediately I'm sitting there thinking, I don't think personally I can sing that well. But if something that can possibly foresee the future is telling me I'm going to be a singer,
and you can sing,
I'm thinking, I've got to put my mind to this. Maybe I can make this happen. And as the years went on, I started on Smule and progressively went on. Never.
Wait, what did you say?
Smule.
Yeah, she was in 7th grade when she was playing with Sting.
No, wait, what's Smule?
It's a singing app. It's like
I
a
had
music
it at one
app.
point too.
Yeah, you sing with other people with the recordings. And I started on there, and I had a bunch of fun, so I continued. And I, this whole time, would never sing for anybody. Like, not even at Happy Birthday. Like, I would just be so deflated in the back, be like, happy birthday. I wouldn't do anything.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that for sure.
Mm-hmm. And, I just finally was like, I hit this moment where I got into all these America's Got Talent auditions, and every time I watched them, I'd be like, yes, the pressure, I don't think I would normally be able to handle that, but, I've gotten over stage fright with my orchestra, and I sat there and was like, I could do that. Like, I feel like I could see myself, like, on the X Factor or something, like, auditioning and trying to get in there. Like, I could picture myself, like, spotlights on me and stuff, and that was when, like, a switch flipped, and I was like, I kind of want to strive to do this. And granted, I had a moment when it was just Leanne and I here, but I mean, like, I showed her recordings of what I sounded like back then and to now, and I offered, while I was sick, to sing for her, and I gave it my all, and I feel like...
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was beautiful, man.
It took a lot of guts to do that, even just for Leanne, but, like, I felt so much better afterwards.
Well, no, I feel like the pressure of it being one-on-one versus a crowd of people you don't really know or care about.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're quite equivalent at the end of the day.
No, it is so personal to sing to someone who you care
never
about.
try and freestyle in front of mommy.
Really? I would.
Nope.
And I still would in public.
And
It's
I
just-
don't. Nope.
I feel like it's one of those.
You, me, Sarah.
It's somewhat equivalent because when you go on stage, onto stage, you see a lot of people. It's like, ooh, I still gotta do it. I guess you could back out with a person that's personal.
With me, I have played on stages before. In fact, when I was first learning bass, I went to a lessons place, and they had this small band, like, hey, we're putting together people who can play. And so I was playing with 2 other girls. I wish I remembered their names. They were really cool. Well, or wait, no, 3 other girls, because there was the drummer, the guitar player, and the singer. They were all really cool, so hopefully they are still with music, because they were all talented. But we would go and play. We played at, like, a restaurant and then at a little festival thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so, to me, performing is, like, whatever. Like, it doesn't... Honestly, I kind of really like it. I love doing it. I don't think you're supposed to say that, but I do. I really love being on stage. And so that's not stressful. But if I was with anyone and I was like, guess I'm going to play my bass for you, like, that would be so much more personal, because then, like, I can see their reaction. I know them well enough to see if they're, like, being honest, if they liked it or not. And so it's like, no, that's too much stress. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, when I sang, I had Leanne turn her back. Like, I couldn't...
Oh, yeah, I said I was gonna close my eyes.
She still turned around, and, like, I kept going, but I felt, like, at peace knowing that, like, I wasn't being stared down.
Jim Morrison,
Oh, yeah, I definitely would have
the
been
lead
staring.
singer
Sorry.
of The Doors,
Oh.
had to sing with his back to the crowd.
Aw.
Oh, he's not the only one. When the Beatles were first starting out, they had either someone on, I think it was on guitar. I wish I remembered his name, but he started out with them, and he had to have his back turned to the crowd. Eventually they got, I think, George, if it was the guitar player. But they got George, and then he didn't have that problem. But yeah, the original, like, one of the original members of the Beatles had to have his back turned from the crowd to play.
Back when they were the Silver Beatles.
Yes, like early.
Once again, your guys' old-timey knowledge out of this world.
Oh no, don't even. It's all because my mom, she's a huge Beatles fan. She has memorabilia of the Beatles. Like, she has books, there are these puppet things made of them in their yellow submarine fits, and she has them up, proudly displayed in our basement. So she's like the #1 super fan. So that's the only reason I know that. Okay.
Are you a Beatles or a Rolling Stones person?
Okay, so to be frank,
Oh.
my mom was a Beatles fan, so I never ended up hearing a lot of Rolling Stones. I don't know their stuff.
Whoa. That's gotta change. Like, I just said you said Rolling Stones. So it's like one of the best bands from the 60s.
Yeah, I feel so, like, bad that I never looked into this band, because, you know, with the big, like, monumental game changers in the genre, like, I'll be like, I should probably listen to them just so I know. But, I don't know, a lot of the times I'm like, it's not really blowing my skirt up. Like, I never, like, was attached to that kind of music. My dad would always play, like, 80s rock, and, so, I don't know, I don't like it. I was so used to it, and I just can't really stand to hear it, because it's just not my thing. But he would play some 90s and, like, early 2000s. Along with my mom, she did a lot of early 2000s stuff, so that is my ultimate soft spot for music, because I just think, oh, my family, like, my dad would play Man in the Box by Alice in Chains all the time, and I love them so much. I'll listen to them all the time. And, like, Effervescence or whatever.
Evanescence, yeah.
Yeah. But, and then my mom liked that pop stuff, so I will always have a soft spot for, like, just pop. Which I feel like is, like, one problem with music is it's very elitist. Like, especially with fans of bands, it's like, oh, you're not a real fan, oh, you're not a real fan. I'm like, music, or it's like, oh, well, they only like that music because it became a fad. It's like, music should always be enjoyed, no matter when, or no matter who is listening to it. Like, music it shouldn't have a gate around it. Like, everyone should be able to enjoy it.
Honestly. It's silly you say that, but I mean, I feel like it does need to be said sometimes. Like, just for the people that actually forget that music is for everyone.
And that's one thing with, like...
I was the first one who found the song.
Yeah, we'll say this was only accentuated with the creation of TikTok and use of TikTok, because you would have these sound bites of really good songs that maybe only a few people knew about. It would become viral, which is such a term for the internet, because it's just an old term that doesn't really apply anymore, but for the sake of it, they went viral. And so you had a bunch of new fans coming in, and the collision of that was so disparaging to see, because it's like, you should be happy that more people can enjoy this artist. Like, why are you being mean about it? Like, get over yourself. Are you 4 years old? Like, come on, man.
If this person didn't have this many fans, they probably would have stopped.
Maybe we'll get more music like that now.
Maybe they'll want to produce more often. Maybe they'll join someone else. Maybe they'll, what's it called? When two people collab with another artist you like. Like, oh my, when Logic and Eminem, I lost my mind.
That's one thing I will say, is that different musicians do things like, just, they're so separated from each other. Like, if you look at, like, rap, you're seeing all these artists come together and making these songs, and it's so much like crossover. Everyone knows each other. It's a very tight community. If you look at, like, especially like white artists, they don't do that. Not a lot of times are people like collabing with others, and I think
that's more in the actor community for white people.
What do you mean?
Like, you say black artists are more likely to, or rappers are more likely to end up connecting and making songs together. And for actors, that's their way of doing that. Does that make sense? No? Am I not wording it well enough?
What I meant to say is that with a lot of white artists and bands that are like... Let me start over, hold on.
It's okay.
A lot of rappers you see will collab with each other on songs. Like, almost any song that I see that is in the rap genre will always be collabs with multiple artists. But in other music genres, you don't see that at all. And I don't... I guess I just don't understand why, I suppose.
Could that be because in other genres it's a full band. Because, like, you'll see a lot of EDM people, like DJs and stuff, like, collabing on rap. Like, you'll never see, like, Metallica and Megadeth collab on a song or something.
Actually, I think that's a fair point, because when you do see collabs of bands, it's a single member of that band doing a collab with another single member of a band, or
it's like a single member of a band going to another band to, like, help out with the song.
Yeah.
Reference King for a Day by Pierce the Veil.
That was such a good song.
Also, can we talk about emo bands with the name Veil? Black Veil Brides, Pierce the Veil.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
have you ever seen Andy Biersack?
I've heard of him, but no.
Yeah, he's Black Veil Brides, and everyone thirsts over him.
Wait, does he have long hair?
He used to.
Ooh, when did he cut it?
2015?
Yeah.
I think I just stopped paying attention. I want to say he had long hair. He had like a sleeve? 2 sleeves? Maybe just 1? No?
I don't know who you're talking
can't
about.
remember.
I'm
if
still
that's
talking about Andy
Kellen
Biersack.
Quinn
Like,
or
did he
Andy
not have
Biersack.
a sleeve of tattoos? Is this not him with long hair?
I'll just find out.
I want to say I've seen him. He has like a really sharp jawline.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know he is fine. I'll give it to him. Maybe like when I was kid, fine. Maybe he doesn't meet my standards now, fine. But from what I remember, I think he was cute. He's still cute. Shit. Yeah. Andy Biersack, I guess he's alright.
Yeah, you react say alright.
Yeah, he whatever.
He's cool, I guess.
I guess.
He's okay.
I will give it to emo fans. They go hard for their singers. Oh my god,
Gerard
remember
Way.
Panic at the Disco?
Yeah, Brendan Urie.
Who turns out to be, hey, not a good person, turns out.
Really?
Yeah. He's,
Wow.
like, really gross. Like,
What do you
especially,
do?
so he was,
Spill.
like, he was just being very sexual with the members of his band when they were very much not into it.
Ooh.
And so they were all like, well, we're leaving. Like, that's why he's a solo act now, is because people don't want to work with him, because he was, like, harassing his members and the people who worked with him.
His members?
Was this
really?
before Death of a Bachelor or after Death of a Bachelor?
That was
After.
after.
Yeah.
They stopped being good at Miss Jackson. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because High Hopes was
It
when
was-
he was a singleton then.
I actually saw that concert with my sister, because she was in high school when Panic at the Disco was happening. She's 7 years older. So she graduated 2015, I think, so she was, like, in that perfect range. And so I like them because it would remind me of when she was learning to drive, she would put on Panic at the Disco. So I will always enjoy their stuff just because it makes me think of her and her driving around. But, so we actually saw that concert, and you know what? It was good. I don't want to hear the hate. It was good. It was really good.